Hello friends, so let's go ahead and start Unit 9 notes here. Today we're going to learn just about area of basic shapes. Before we start that, I want to go ahead and review the vocabulary. So here we have composite figures. It's two or more basic geometric figures. And here, what that means is that you could take a look at this figure right here, and it looks like two figures put in one. It really depends on how you see it, but you can split it up into two. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, now here, let's go ahead and look at area. The amount of space inside a shape. So it's everything that's in here. Okay. Now, a parallelogram is four-sided shape with opposite sides that are parallel. Okay. And what that means is that these two are the same and these two are the same. They're parallel to each other. Okay. And then a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides. So that means that this side and this side are parallel to each other. These sides that you see right here, these are called slanted heights. Okay, now square units is metric used to measure area. So for instance, here you see 1 square unit, okay? Lateral surface areas is the sum of the faces. It's not including bases, okay? So here, no bases. Okay, so let's go ahead and write in here. Faces only, no bases. Okay. What that looks like is going to be everything that's in here. Okay. All right, now here, let's look at total surface area. That is the sum of faces and bases. Okay. That is everything. That is these two pieces, and it is everything that is inside. Okay. All right. Now for this one, I want to write faces and bases. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next page. Pause if you need to. So here we're just going to review the area of basic shapes. So if you have a parallelogram, your formula is going to be area is equal to base times height. Okay, so let's review parallelogram. So here, this is a parallelogram. Okay, I am going to, let me do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight. I'm going to do B in like a yellow color, and height in a green color. Okay, so if we are looking at the parallelogram, this is going to be the base. Let's do this color. And this right here cannot be the height because it's a slanted height. In a parallelogram, you're always going to see something that looks like this. Okay, it's a dotted line, and then you can see that it has a right angle. This is the height. And if you were to trace that dotted line with the right angle, it makes an H. Okay, all right, now here in the rectangle, this is your base, this is your height. Here in the square, I wanted to talk about it because this one was similar to something that we saw in the exit ticket. But there was a question that looked like this that had just an 11 on one side. Okay, and don't let that confuse you. Just because you see that doesn't mean that you don't have any other information. So with all of this information that you have here, these little lines are telling you that each one of these lines are the same. Okay, this is also a square, right? So that means that this is going to say 11. That is your base. Okay, and this is your height. Okay, so you would end up doing 11 times 11, which is 121. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and move to the next one. Now, this one right here, the last one, is exactly this, okay? This is what we see, all right? So here, this is the base, and this is the height. Remember, if we were to take this and trace it, we make an H, okay? This is not needed. All right, let's go to area of trapezoids. So this again is the formula right here. Area is equal to base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. So base 1 plus base 2 times height, okay? All right, now over here, on this regular trapezoid, okay, if we take a look, we see that this has 2 right angles, okay? Here, you are going to see that this can be base and this can be a base, okay? And then this one would be your height, okay? On this one, it's pretty easy to find the height, okay? But on this one, on the isosceles trapezoid, you're going to have to just make sure that you're paying attention. Now, the bases are pretty easy to find. The height is going to be just like the parallelogram. You're going to see something that is like this. This would be the height, okay? Remember, if you trace it, you make an H, okay? All right, area of triangles. So on this one, it says area is equal to base times height divided by 2, okay? So here we have a triangle, okay? And this would be the base. And remember, if you can trace it, you make an H. This is the height, okay? Then we have this right triangle. And this right triangle, you have the base, and then you have the height, okay? Now, I want to mention something on this one, because I had some students wanting to say that these 2 legs were the height or the base. You have the height right here, and then it touches the base. That piece is going to be what is the base, not these 2 over here, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and pause if you need to and go to the next page, page 80. On page 80, we're going to practice. The first thing that I want us to do is I want us to determine what type of shape it is. This first one is a parallelogram. Okay, so if we look back at parallelogram, it's area equals base times height. Okay, so I'm going to write area is equal to base times height. Okay, remember, our base is yellow and our height is green. Okay, so here, the base, let me highlight it, is going to be 10, okay? And the height, again, I'm looking for where I can trace the H, would be 6, okay? All right, let's go ahead and continue. So 10 times 6. Now 10 times 6, I know that is 60. So that would be 60 centimeters squared, and that's my final answer, okay? All right. Let's look at the next shape. The next shape is a rectangle, and a rectangle falls in the same category as a parallelogram. So this one is also going to be area is equal to base times height. Now remember, base is yellow, height is green. So let's go ahead and do that. So here, 8 would be my base, 3 would be my height, okay? So area is equal to 8 times 3, which I know is 24 centimeters squared. Okay, now remember, it's squared because we're finding the area. Okay, now let's look at the next one. This next one is a square. So that means it's going to fall in the same category as a rectangle, which is going to be area is equal to base times height. Okay, now remember, base is yellow, height is green. So base is going to be 7. Height is going to be 7. So that means we are going to do area is equal to 7 times 7, which is 49 miles squared. All right, I want to talk about this one too a little bit more, because remember, what if we didn't have this piece and we have the 4 right angles? That means that just because you don't see it doesn't mean you don't have it. If this is 7, all of them are 7. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the triangle. So here in this one, the formula for this one is area. If we go back, we go to triangles. It's area equals base times height divided by 2. Okay. So area is equal to base. Now, you most definitely can write it like this. I don't like writing it like that because I will forget to write divided by 2. This piece, I always forget it. So you can do it either way. Just remember that you're dividing by 2. So 1/2 base times height. Okay. Area is equal to 1/2. By the way, remember, base is yellow, height is green. So let's take a look at the base. Now remember, on this one, I'm going to try to find base or height first. I'm going to trace this line. It makes an H that's reversed. 10 is my height. Now I have to go back and have to look at what this is touching, and it's touching this one. That means that's the base. Okay, so this one's the base, and that's going to be 12. So what we're going to have is 10 times 12. Area is equal to 1/2 times 120. So that means what we have to do now is divide by 2. Now, you can always divide. You can always take 120 and multiply by 0.5 or divide by 2. The choice is yours. I'm just going to divide by 2. So here, 2 can go into 12 6 times. And then that would be 0. So that would be area is equal to 60 units squared. Now, this did not have any units on it, so we would say units squared. And this is our final answer. Okay. All right, let's continue with the next figure. So in this figure, we have a trapezoid. Okay. Now, if we go back to our other notes, trapezoids is going to be area is equal to base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and write that. Base 1 plus base 2, times height divided by 2. Okay. Now remember, base 1 and 2 are going to be yellow and height is green. Okay. So here we have one base and we have another base. Okay. And then we have our height. Remember, we cannot choose these. These are slanted heights. We don't use them. Okay. This is your height. Okay. So 7 is your height. Now let's go ahead and plug that in. Area is equal to 10 plus 14 times 7 divided by 2. 24 times 7 divided by 2. So let's go ahead and multiply 24 times 7 here. 7 times 4 is going to be 28, 14, 15, 16. So my answer right now is 168, but then I have to divide by 2. Okay, so 168 divided by 2, 2 can go into 16 8 times. And then it can go into 8 4 times. So my final answer is 84 units squared. This is my final answer. Okay. All right. That was it for the notes. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and on the homework that y'all had, I'm going to review a couple of questions. All right. So here, okay, I want to review maybe 2 or 3. Okay, let's do this trapezoid that's right here. Okay, the formula for this trapezoid, remember, is going to be area is equal. If you need to, pause, try to remember it, go back to your notes, write it down. Okay, area is equal to base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Okay, all right, now let's substitute. Okay, remember, the bases and the height, okay, is what we need to substitute. So area is equal to The bases are going to be 4.8 and 10. The height is going to be 4.7. Okay. All right, so base 1, 10 plus 4.8 times...
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Siri does it in class, and then Alexa does it at home. Oh my gosh, I can't get away from them. Okay, divided by 2. Area is equal to, let's go ahead and add 10 and 4.8. So here, we're going to need to put a decimal and a 0 on 10 to line up the decimals because we're adding. So it would be 14.8. And then we're multiplying 4.7. So I know that this homework assignment had some decimals, but y'all can still do it. All right. 4.7, here we're lining up the last digit. So 8 times 7 is going to be 56. 4 times 7 is going to be 28. Plus 5 is going to be 33. 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 times 8 is going to be 32. 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 4, 5. So what I get here is 69.56. Now I'm going to recheck that with my calculator just to make sure that I did it right. And I did. Okay, so here we're going to have 69.56 divided by 2. Okay, I'm going to do this over here somewhere on the side. Divided by 2. 2 can go into 6 3 times. 2 can go into 9 4 times. That would be 8. It can go into 15 7 times. That'd be 14. And then into 16 8 times. So what we get as our final answer is 34.78 meters squared. Okay. All right. That's the trapezoid. Now, we kind of already gotten past unit 8, which is circles, but we're going to go ahead and find the area of the circle. Okay, here if it's not specifying and we're in area, we're finding area. What you're doing is finding area. Okay, so area is equal to pi r squared. All right, okay, radius is what we need to replace. Okay, and we also need to make sure that we know that pi is 3. Okay, pi is going to be 3.14 or 3. We like to use 3 in class just to make it a little bit easier on us. But you need to understand that if you have an entry box, you're going to use 3.14. Okay, so here area is equal to 3 times radius. And here if you look, it's going from center to edge. So that is radius. Let's go ahead and make sure that we label that. So 20 squared. Okay, now that means that we're going to do 20 times 20, which is going to give us 400. Area is equal to 3 times 400. And I know that 4 times 3 is 12. And then I just have to add the 2 zeros. So that's what we get, okay? Now, if you do 3.14, it doesn't change by much. I'm going to use my calculator to show you. If I multiply, of course, we're going to do 20 times 20. That's still 400, okay? But then I'm going to multiply by 3.14. The only thing that changes if you do 400 times 3.14 is that you get this, okay? So, if we have multiple answer choices, you get 1200. You're going to look for the one that's just a tiny bit higher, like this one, okay? All right. We're going to do, let's see, let's do a triangle, okay? In a triangle, the formula, by the way, pause if you need to. We're going to do this last one here. The formula for a triangle is going to be area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Remember, you can also write it as base times height divided by 2. The choice is yours. I like 1/2 base times height. All right, now here, let's remember that base is yellow, height is going to be green, okay? So here, the height, I'm going to go with the height first because this is a triangle. Here is the H, so 7 is my height. And then I'm looking at where that H touches the line. So that means that 16 is my base, okay? All right, so area is equal to 1/2 16 times 7, okay? All right, 16 times 7, 6 times 7 is going to be 42. 7 plus 4 is going to be 11, so we get 112, okay? Area is equal to 1/2 times 112. What this means is that you're going to divide by 2 or multiply by 0.5. Let's go ahead and take 112, divide that by 2. 2 can go into 11 5 times. That would be 10. And then I can go into 12 6 times. Okay, so my final answer is 56 meters squared. Okay, and that's it. All right, so go ahead and try the rest of them. Okay. All right, good luck. Bye. Have a good day.